The entire team at Emsolation want to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. We want to recognise that we are recording and telling our stories on the stolen land of our country's first storytellers. We wish to pay our respects to all Wurundjeri elders and ancestors, and to extend that respect to any First Nations peoples who listen to Emsolation. We recognise Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's continued connection to the land and waters of this country, and acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. Always was, always will be.
Russiano.
But I am going to come and ride your mechanical bull.
And Michael Lucas.
I've had intense relationships with the shows that I've watched on Endone. It really tilts the viewing experience.
This is Emsolation.
1, 2, 3.
Wicked
Gladiator. Thank God we are best friends.
You're in Emsolation.
He understands razzle dazzle. What?
Yeah, the qualifications of those selecting
off.
panel.
Yeah.
And all the men. Okay, save it. Welcome. We will be talking about the DCC, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders in the sealed section. I have 25 years worth of opinions to get through. You don't understand. It's consumed my life. But that's coming up in the sealed section. I've found a podcast. I've looked up the original choreographer, Texie. I want Michael to write a film about her.
We're going as them to Halloween. We may do the routine depending on
Yes,
how.
it's become my whole personality. Don't be surprised if I come out this weekend, not in the outgrown floral monstrosity. It will be extravaganza.
Subtle
Not
change.
it could be me in the Dolly Parton full wetsuit from the Super Bowl performance. Welcome to Emsolation. My name is Em Russiano. I'm a writer, a singer, a stand-up comedian, a maximalist power queen, a neurodivergent magic brain, and a podcaster. And together with my best friend, Logie Award-nominated, ACTA Award-winning, Augie Award-winning, what are the other ones? AFI?
Spa? No, that's the actors. That's it.
He's high on hillbilly heroin.
Very.
Is that a PC term? Can I say that? Michael's had a lot of Endone, and you are going to be getting the true Michael Lucas.
Is it the truth?
I think so. He is so. This is bizarre. I actually kind of like it.
I know.
It works.
I have no, because I don't really have much medication in my life. I'm so sensitive to it. So you pop a pill and I just float into a warm pool of judgment.
I wish I could say. Yeah, I just want to tell you right now, you're really becoming Joe.
Yeah.
You're taking on your mother's form and persona.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I just sit there in a robe watching ABC News 24.
Clink,
making
clink,
catty
clink.
comments. That's right.
No, I support it. I champion it. I'm here for it. Michael had his hip replaced last week. Savage.
You refuse to look at the pictures.
I tried to show me his fucking... Oh, do you want me to show you my cesarean scar? Do you want to see Odie
Sure.
being pulled out of me like a big fucking fish?
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Why?
I'll tell you
Okay.
once in Perth,
Yeah.
we had all the radio station people over for dinner at my house.
Yeah.
And...
Oh, I know. The slideshow.
The slideshow came up on the home PC and all the photos of Odie's birth started flashing across the screen. While my boss, the boss of the radio station, is sitting there, there's just me with my guts hanging out, me giving a thumbs up while Odie's toes being pulled out of my lower abdomen.
Yeah.
My boobs out, my big nips on display.
Beautiful.
I'm jumping on trying to get to it and just gave up in the end. And then, of course, they suggested we could put these up online for the website.
Of course they did.
Yeah, they did. They went with it. Michael, of course, is, recuperating, recovering. You seem to be doing quite well.
Touch wood. Yes.
Have you raw dogged it yet without the drugs?
Well, I'm imagining that when I wake up in the morning, I'm pretty
Raw dog.
drug free. And like, you know, it's not like it's, I honestly don't think I've gone above maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10 in pain. So I'm certainly not a hero.
I wish I knew what it was like to be sensitive to drugs. I cannot sit here and look you in the eye and say, oh, there's not many drugs in my life. It'd be easier to list off the ones that aren't at this point. So he's sitting here on a much higher chair than usual and just passing judgment. Stop looking at me like that.
Yeah, sorry.
But I'm glad you're well. 6 weeks until you're up and about doing some star jumps. Now, have you had sex yet? That's what everyone wants to know.
No.
Wow, are you okay? Is a week the
They
longest?
did say they finally gave me some information about it.
Oh, can we talk about it? So Michael, for those of you who didn't listen last week, I'm sure you have, he was very concerned about when he can have sex. He wanted to have pre-surgery sex for fear of the incoming drought that would ensue from
Yeah, that's
surgery. And so was the first question not how long until I can, live my life? Was your first question sex? Tell me, when can I get the harness out of the whips and the mini tram? Can I wear a cape? Lube up, rubber sheets, Adrian. Like, was that your first conversation?
It was more the GIMP mask, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. You couldn't do the GIMP yet?
No, not yet. No, it wasn't my first question, but it was included in the documentation they gave me. And they did suggest, they said that normal sexual activity will be quite complicated in the 4 weeks post-surgery.
Wow.
But then they said there are other ways to show affection towards your partner. And then they said, have a chat to your occupational therapist. And then my occupational therapist came in. She was 19 and she was a student occupational therapist.
So did you ask her about...
No.
Oh.
But I mean, all they were going to say is, don't, no dramatic moves with the hip, I'm pretty sure.
So you can just spread eagle. You can have stuff done to you.
I don't know that I want any, powerful jolts in that area.
True.
I think it was more just lie down, open your mouth would probably be fine.
GIMP mask might come in handy in
Might
the
be.
end. Well,
Might be.
okay. Well, all's well that ends well. Let us know when you get one in.
Probably won't.
Some big news has been announced in that Wicked's release date, the movie, has been brought forward.
A crucial week. To avoid Moana, is that right?
I don't know. Cynically, I thought it was deliberate because we found out the Gladiator release date and they are on the same day.
Same day.
And I feel like the Gladiator people and the Wicked people got together and said, we need a Barbie and Oppenheimer situation. Win-win for everybody. And it's great because they're releasing something for the girls and something for the girls. And that
Well, that's what is different.
fantastic. And when I say girls, I mean all the gays.
There was nothing camp about Oppenheimer.
No.
But this
and
is
if you got
camp
off on that,
camp.
I have some serious concerns for your Pornhub search history.
There were some weird sex scenes in that movie.
Weird, because he is weird with sex and women. You know I don't like Christopher Nolan. He's on my shit list. He's on that list with fucking Jason Momoa and Justin Timberlake.
God, Jason Momoa, I don't think I quite realised that he drifted there. He
Oh,
at one
no.
point was not on your shit list.
He was no.
Yeah,
He
but
was
he's-
getting my business list. Now on the shit
Oh,
list.
Jesus.
Oh, when I found out he chased Amber Heard around dressed as Johnny Depp and she had PTSD on the set of Aquaman.
It just feels like no one's safe. Idris, can he stay off the ship list? Hopefully.
I'd have to retire the shit list if Idris got on there.
No, I
wouldn't
think he's
cope.
fine. He's happily married. and
Oh,
lovely.
they are the hottest couple in the world. If I could have a throuple with anyone, sorry, Scott, I'm joining Idris and his wife.
Scott's not invited.
No, it's a throuple. Three's a crowd anyway. 4, nah, it's too much logistically for me to handle. But how do we get here? Yes, so Oppenheimer sex, weird. Nothing sexy about Oppenheimer. Barbie, Wicked, Gladiator. So,
Yeah.
coming out on the same day.
Yeah.
Now, we need to have a very important conversation. Obviously, we are gagging, chomping, desperate, thirsty for both films. I feel like you more Gladiator, me more Wicked. Would that be a fair assumption?
Actually, I would say that I'm pretty even on both. But I think for you, is it a fair assumption to say Wicked, overwhelming, and Gladiator of a high level of interest, but not. Wicked is like a life calling. It's a
Yes.
religion.
Yes.
The's a lot of your emotional
Do you remember me
stability
in
that rests on
Frozen
it.
2? Do you remember when you took me to see Frozen 2 without children?
I still hear it echoing.
Do you remember I was sobbing?
Yeah.
We didn't even have kids with us.
No. That's all right. She couldn't get out of the seat. Eventually, someone had to come up and tap and go, we do need another session. There are other children. There are hundreds of children who want to see this
I
movie.
wouldn't let the children in.
You will need to. And we just probably need to just wipe down the tears off your...
I sat there screaming, they made this for me. So I'm expecting that is like amuse-bouche compared to the main course of my emotions you're going to experience watching the Wicked movie. Because also, one of my all-time favourite singers, Cynthia Erivo, is playing me, aka Alphaba.
They have. They've really been listening to you. And they put in Jonathan Bailey. And you're an Ariana Grande. She is
Sure.
a singer.
I'm not against her.
No, you're pro her.
Yeah, she's all right.
You're pro Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah. Of course. Is he problematic? Is he a bit probo?
Is there
I had
probo
vibes? I had a
pang.
pang.
I think there's been probo rumours. I don't know.
Probo rumours.
Yeah.
Okay, we won't buy into the probo, but usually where there's probo rumours, there's probo.
Probo smoke. There's
Let's
probo
just
fire.
say, yeah. So let's have it out. Okay, we're going to say it at the same time. This is crucial. What order on the day of days What order are we watching the movies in? We're going to say it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wicked
then
Gladiator. Thank God. Thank God we are best friends.
I just feel like
Imagine.
there's a level of emotional and possibly even medical calibration that needs to happen when you enter the Wicked theatre. And I just feel like putting Gladiator before it, there's too many wild cards that could come in. You're like a racehorse that needs to go into the starting blocks for Wicked in absolute precision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like if you burnt your taste buds on something very hot and then you're asked to taste test some very delicate French meal.
That's right.
The delicate French meal is wicked. I've got to do that first because Gladiator's just going to be fucking... It's
going to be noisy.
Oh, it'll be great. It's a perfect recovery from what I will have gone through in Wicked.
And ultimately you are intensely emotionally invested in whether Wicked is good, but if Gladiator's shit, you don't really care.
Oh, I don't even care.
You just want a bit of Paul Mescal's thighs and
fucking
abs.
And Pedro Pascal. Denzel's in there.
Yeah.
I don't even care. I could have it on mute. I could be playing some kind of fucking epic soundtrack.
You may enjoy it more.
I probably will.
Put on some Paramore and just listen to it.
I love Paramore. I'm wearing a Paramore t-shirt. I'm obsessed. Hayley Williams is my personality, along with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, which is conflicting for all of us. I think, is it a Ridley Scott film? Who's doing it? He's on my shit list.
I think it's fair to say that it's been a while since Ridley's knocked it out of the park.
A while? He's in...
Probably since the first Gladiator. Well, he made some classics, though. Thelma and Louise, all time.
Totally. Hey, is Russell in this one?
I believe not.
Oh, no, because he died. Oh, spoiler alert. Oh, well, if you haven't seen it by now, what the fuck's wrong with you?
There are some crossover casts, but no.
I love that film. I am Gluteus Maximus. That last speech he gives.
Yeah.
You know, when he comes back and it's hot and his family. Oh, my God. That film was very stirring. I haven't gone back and watched it since.
No, nor have I. Nor have I. Isn't that weird?
Should we? In preparation?
No, I'm a little bit worried that I might be disappointed.
Propo.
I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the Pepsi commercial that's the Gladiator thing with Beyonce and Britney. And
I mean, you're in the
amazing.
human.
Yeah.
You're in the human. That
Best ad ever made.
Amazing. Wouldn't that be great if that was the movie that ends up being made? Fucking, they couldn't do it now.
I think Pedro and Paul will be up for it.
Absolutely. Pedro especially. I'm not going to press the button. So do you...
Okay.
No.
Okay, so I think, I'm thinking it needs to be a mid-morning Wicked.
Yes.
Like sort of 11 a.m.-ish.
Because remember, it ends on defying gravity. I'm going to need to be sedated.
Yes, and then I feel like there's some sort of decompression food situation that
Totally.
happens, and then we go into, and then maybe get some alcohol and go into Gladiator.
Absolutely.
And that's the day.
Gold class. Gold class will be like, have these people moved in? Are they squatting? That's what it's going to be like, basically. I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
They need to put those tickets on sale.
Oh, my God. If we're not invited to some kind of Melbourne opening of the Wicked film...
Well, that could ruin... No, but that could... Well, then it won't be
we're going to have to sustain.
Well...
No, the double...
Actually, we need a contingency plan for that. What happens... Because also, you've got to take Chella. You've got to take Chella. You can't take me.
No, I'll get another ticket. They always offer... I can always go back in and say, I've got all these children. Why are you only giving me one? Odie doesn't care.
What, and I'm your child?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Oh, God, I use the children for all sorts of things. You'd be amazed.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to that. The US election. Biden has double, triple, quadrupled down. He's like, fuck you. It will take God himself.
Yeah.
And the memes of people dropping from the ceiling pretending to be God have sent me this week. They've been so funny. But he literally said God himself would have to tap me on the shoulder and say, Joe, it's over. And then he will consider stepping down. And I just think that rings so many alarm bells for me.
I know. Well, he's calling anyone that is.
Oh, he wrote a letter.
He wrote a letter.
He did a Jenny Russiano.
Yeah.
She loved to write.
she?
She loves to write a letter. Not now, she emails, but back in the day, she loved a letter.
Yeah.
She loved to leave me a letter on my bed.
Oh, really?
Not going to go into any more.
With a poison pen. And he's saying he's accusing anyone of who's begging him to step down as an elite.
I mean, you know what's great? If you're not with us, you're against us. It's such a sound leadership.
It is.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Fantastic.
Of George W. Bush.
Yeah.
Going into Iraq. Mm-hmm.
But what he's doing, which you pointed out, is he's using Trump language. You know, and we're like, bitch, you are the elitists. You are the millionaires.
There is nothing more establishment than Joe Biden.
Absolutely not.
He's been in Washington in the power elite since before our parents were born.
Exactly. But Joe's also kind of making out as though it's people with inside the Democratic House calling for it because they want to make a power play.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's all happening in there. But the American people want him.
No, it's people at home gripping their remote controls going, he looks real old and he can't finish a sentence and I want a president that can actually maintain a train of
It's
thought.
fucking Cocaine Bear versus Weekend at Bernie's.
It is.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
Bloody hell. It's terrifying.
And we know that Cocaine Bear's going to win.
Cocaine Bear's
That's the problem.
relentless.
The other
that
thing-
film stayed with me for a week after.
Yeah.
It is so grim and grisly and awful. But the whole time I was watching it, I said, this bear reminds me of Donald Trump. He does.
It's a metaphor. It's why he did so well.
I didn't make that up. Lots of people calling Donald Trump Cocaine Bear online.
He did. He also, the one thing that really troubled me in his interview was when he said that
Joe?
they said, well, what happens if you lose? And he just says, well, as long as I know that I've done my best and everything like that. And I felt like saying, it's not about your personal sense of effort and achievement.
Darling, this
the
isn't
fate of the world.
Fucking egg and spoon race at school carnival.
exactly.
We're not giving out awards for trying your best.
No,
which I don't believe should be around, but anyway. I'm terrified of the double, triple, quadrupling down. But I want to know when Barack and Michelle lie down at night and you have your 16-minute chat. You know, the average couple has a 16-minute chat every night before they go to sleep, just to kind of go through their day.
Yeah.
And they're having their 16-minute chat. I want to know.
Do you and Scott have that?
Sometimes if we're in the same bed. And it's just me talking. And it's just Scott telling me, like, it's just me listing off all the things I've done wrong or I'm
Scott's
worried
like,
about. Absolutely. And that's why we work sometimes. 65% of the time we work. And so
Pretty good.
totally. And so what I want to
Hasn't
know
always
is
been at that percentage.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Some would say sub 10 a lot of the time.
Yeah.
When she's rolling over and she's like, what do you think? I want to know what Barack is saying to Michelle. I want to know what that conversation, because there is no way those two are a rock steady crew and him behind closed doors.
I think that Barack, look, it's complicated because Barack said to Joe, do not run in 2016, and Joe was angry about it. And in retrospect, probably a bad call by Barack. He should have run. He would have been younger and he probably would have won. And so it's a touchy topic. So I feel like Barack, his standing when it comes to advice for Joe about whether to run, he knows he's not in the strongest position because he did give him one of the worst bits of advice in human history. But also maybe I feel like Barack's like, you know what, the only way for me to persuade him is to publicly say, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you, so that I'm pulled closer, then I can have the hard conversation, maybe.
I feel like if he was ahead of Trump in the polls, we'd all just strap in and know that once he's in, someone else, Kamala, will take over. Like, Joe's not going to be making any. They'll wheel Joe out, you know, off into with a blanket on his lap and a chair, and a pipe, and whatever old men do.
Yeah.
And Kamala will assume the position.
But when you're 6 points behind.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's the problem for Joe. If he was ahead of Trump in the polls, we'd all just be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And the other terrifying thing, Donald Trump has shut it down.
I know.
He's fucking shut it down. The man who can be relied to
I
hang
know.
himself in public.
The biggest attention whore in history
Shut
has
it
learned
down.
the power of silence.
Fuck. I don't want to say I called it, but I fucking did.
You did.
I've got a cough.
I got to stand up.
Michael's got to stretch his hip.
Yeah. Yeah, go
Oh,
on.
you right?
Yeah.
High kicks.
Dallas Cowboys. Cheerleaders.
Hey, I could be
It
like
feels
Oprah.
like you're rubbing your penis on the microphone. It's very disconcerting right now. Stop it.
Sorry.
What do you have to do, little toe? Is this to prevent clots?
Yeah, I mean, it just.
James has got to come in and fix everything.
No, it's fine. It's just very.
No, he's right. He's back. He's back.
It's all swollen.
Have a look
and-
at is the shot okay, James?
It's all swollen and weird down there. So I don't know. Yeah, get
Totally your sex tape.
swollen and weird.
So a Democratic convention's happening August 19th to August
So
24th.
close. So fucking close.
I'm tipping some kind of wild fucking event.
I hope so.
Something in my waters says something's going to go down.
There
on that
is
thing.
also, I feel like there is something funny as Australians because leadership speculation and is someone going to get knifed? That was our bread and butter for 10 years here. We
It's so
invented
true.
that.
We are the original Chapelle Roan fans who are upset that everyone's
That's
on board
and
right
then
now.
we exported it to Britain, and now America's caught on. And of course, America with their news networks, they've never had this before because it is very hard to get rid of.
Oh,
a
it's
president.
electrifying.
You can't just all vote as MPs to
No.
get rid of There can't be like a backroom party vote or whatever, which we had every 2 weeks for a period of time.
Totally. We're all sitting here going, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like going, what do you mean? He
Yeah.
could get knifed by someone in his own party. Meanwhile, Julia Gillard's quietly crying into her fucking Earl Grey.
And also we know the trajectory that there's no like speculation hits fever pitch and then it just slowly dies away.
Absolutely
No way.
not.
It's just a matter of when.
Totally.
Hashtag it's on. That was a trending in Australia for about a decade.
The other political news we need to cover off is, of course, the UK elections.
Yes.
And one aspect I cannot get over. The way they make the fucking hell. So the new Prime Minister of England is
Keir Starmer.
good head of hair.
Fantastic head of hair.
Great head of hair.
Great sort of like white-grey situation happening here.
And has elected the first Treasury Secretary woman
Well done.
in 780 years.
What? We had one 780. Oh, no.
No, there's never been one.
Sorry.
Can you just check that number? It's 700 years. Can you Google that? Can you just check? She's the
Wow.
first woman to ever hold the position of Treasurer Secretary. Is that what the title is? The one that lives next door to him at Downing?
10 Downing.
Yeah, lives next door to him. The first woman in the history of English Parliament to hold
Yeah.
that position. Well, fucking tick.
Tick, tick.
Good hair, not a fascist, hires a woman. That's all we need. Our standards are low.
Well, he's also got this thumping majority that they'll be able to do anything
Anything.
for 5 years.
Thank God.
Mind you, confusingly, they've promised they won't do a lot of things that need to happen.
No,
so
he's literally got up and said
I
the
won't
most
raise
British
taxes,
thing. The
I
most
won't-
British
yeah.
thing, guys. Just status quo. Just keep it low.
Yeah, I know.
DL. Keep it really low key. We're going to be the most low key, boring government.
He's literally done the piss take of continuity and change. I'm going to keep everything the same but change everything.
I love it.
Watch and see.
Oh, Veep, I got to go back and watch that.
But they have this bizarre thing.
I
when
couldn't
they're-
believe it.
When they're reading the results of UK seats, they get the candidates to stand up, normally at some sort of
It's
community
like a spelling
hall.
bee.
Yes.
It literally looks like a spelling bee. It's a community hall.
Yeah.
There's someone on the lectern reading out votes, and all the candidates,
Yes.
no matter how fucking ridiculous the party's name
And we're
is.
talking Masked Singer level of ridiculous. Beyond. Like names like Count Binface.
The sausage party.
Yeah.
What was the guy in the baked bean mask?
Oh, I didn't see that one.
So you have got very serious Tory
MPs,
politicians, like in their suits. They've literally lords, ladies, and then you've got some guy there in a baked bean balaclava representing the sausage party
Yeah.
next to them.
Yeah. Grabbing like 300 votes.
I cannot believe this is.
It's so full on, I
It's
know.
weirdly undignified for the British.
It is.
It's a weirdly Australian. Don't you
Yeah.
think having people like there's someone there in novelty costume, someone could be there in
Yeah.
a chook costume
Yeah.
next to Lord Winterbottom, whose family have been in politics for
Yeah.
500 years, and then
Yeah.
some dude's there in a fucking G-string
Yeah.
dressed like what's his name?
It's like if we had to watch Paul Keating stand against Pluck a Duck.
Totally. And they just do this in every. So I just started searching for all the photos, and they're so funny.
They're joyous. Yeah.
And that when you see Liz lost, and she was standing with somebody who was in a novelty costume,
yeah.
and
The humiliation.
She just was just like him. They're both
Yeah.
losers on that podium at the spelling bee
It's
that
also
day.
weird. You've essentially experienced something similar with Idol when they read. Remember, they used to make you like stand there and like read the votes and everything like that. I can't believe they made them do it. So, and the camera just trains to let Liz Truss the facial control as she finds out she's lost her seat and her political career.
She
is
just
100%.
had a little twitch. We
Yeah.
zoomed. We
Yeah.
went in hard on Liz's
Yeah.
face. I wonder if Taylor sent her a note of condolence.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, aren't they besties?
Liz Truss.
Isn't Liz a Swiftie?
Probably. I don't
Is
know.
my brain misremembering Liz
She
Truss
might,
saying
but I
she's
don't
a
know
Swiftie?
whether Taylor reciprocates. I hope
Wait,
not.
is my brain misremembering? No,
I'm
my
sure
brain
she is.
remembers that
Every
shit.
politician is a Swiftie.
Liz,
Let's
the
not
record,
forget.
the
Truss.
post of
Scott
Chancellor-
Morrison's a fucking Swiftie,
Yeah.
apparently.
Chancellor's been available for 800 years, always been a man.
yeah.
And she used to be a chess champion.
I give you my neurodivergent brain and say thank you very much. There they are together. So don't ever doubt. Don't know where my phone is. It's in my hand. Can remember the fact that Liz Truss is a Swiftie.
Yeah.
So I'm the fucking king. Crown me. Put it on my head. Outgrown's kicking off this week
It is.
in Queensland.
You're steaming into it with sails full of energy.
I am gonna be fine.
You've just had a deeply distressing family funeral, bid your eldest child farewell.
Yeah.
And battled all sorts of health issues.
I'm really. I finally.
Is it a migraine or is it consumption? I don't know.
I went in for my iron infusion last week, and my body had a reaction to the iron that they put in, and my doctor Jamie moved so fast. He was panic. I thought I was dying because I started saying, I said, Jay, my arm's hurting really badly, and then they looked down and it was kind of swelling around the vein. And you can have anaphylaxis with iron, like you can get a permanent line of black ink up your arm. So he says to the nurse, who's also his sister, flush it. I'm like, oh, it's just an iron infusion. What's going on? And then he's pulled it out. He's like, you can have a really serious reaction. Like, you're about to go into it. Jamie's a wonderful gay man in a lovely gay marriage. Went to our school. We love him. He's coming to the show. He can't wait. So I'm like, okay, babes. He's the one I can just text and be like, hey, I need some sleeping tablets. He's like, okay. This is great. He's great. We have that relationship.
Perfect medical patient.
I love him so much. But he also says no when he needs to, which is what I respect.
That's good. That's important.
Yeah. So do you need to stand up again?
No.
And so I went the next day, had a different brand of iron. So I've had the iron infusion, thank God. But when my body rejected the iron, I was at rock bottom.
What does it feel like when your body rejects iron?
My whole arm felt like I'd been punched. Like it went dead, and I got and where the vein that the iron was running up in they were worried it was going to collapse.
Yeah.
So the next step was if I rejected the next one, I was going to have to go into hospital and have a steroid injection to fortify the vein to get the iron in, because my body just does not absorb iron. My grandfather was the same, and so I was rock bottom.
It's always the first thing you check. I mean, we've all heard it.
I was rock bottom. You should say, I'm like, I can't even have iron.
Yeah.
I'm fucked. Like, I was crying at the surgery. People must have thought he told me I had days to live. And it was just an iron infusion.
Well, effectively, with your relationship with iron, it almost was like that. High stakes.
So it's in my system. I'm okay. So when this goes to air, it'll be the night of the Toowoomba show. It's a small but mighty crowd. I've just given into it. I've got the black curtain of shame.
I saw Liza Minnelli with Black Curtain of Shame at Rod Laver Arena.
Patti LuPone had the black curtain of shame at the Palais last week. Yeah.
How do they do it in the Palais?
The top section of 900 seats. I walked in and Chris...
Were you there?
No. When I had my dress rehearsal at the Palais,
yes.
I walked in and Chris, who runs the Palais, is like, we'll remove the black curtain because you've sold those 900 seats. I was like, I have, Chris. So, yeah, the black curtain of shame, all performers know it. When you haven't sold out or sold enough seats, they bring it across so as not to draw the audience's attention.
You have plenty of sellout shows. Though.
I have heaps of sellout shows, just not Toowoomba or Gold Coast.
Yeah.
So the black curtain of shame will be in presence. Feel free to take selfies with it, send it to me, whatever.
Yeah.
I've accepted it, and I've chosen to really focus on the people who have bought tickets rather than obsessing.
Wise.
Yeah. I realized I was obsessing over why aren't you coming? Why don't you love me? What's going on? I will say Dirty Harry's in Toowoomba have really amazingly come to the forefront for me. They are a cowboy bar in Toowoomba with a mechanical bull, sawdust on the floor, like topless shot competitions, full-blown cowboy bar. And I wouldn't think they went and found the picture of me at your cowboy party and they put it up and said, who's going to see M. Russiano's show? And I mean, Dirty Harry's. They've sent me a message saying, come in for drinks. And I went and looked at their clientele. Again, I don't know we'll have much crossover.
Really?
No.
So it's not so much the gay cowboy situation.
No, they're all very kind of young and white.
Can we expect a picture of you on a?
I think I'm definitely going to have to go into that. No, I'm obliged because they lovingly posted about the show, and of all the places I thought that were going to promote my show,
Dirty Harry's was not at the top.
No, but Dirty Harry's did.
No,
so thank you to Dirty Harry's too. But I am going to come and ride your mechanical bull. Then we've got
careful of your back.
Yes, the Friday night we've got QPAC, which is just 66 seats off selling out, killing me. And then Sunday the Gold Coast Curtain of Shame will be up with the Star. That's okay. Doesn't matter.
Is it?
You can't. Michael wants to. We can't drop the special guest because we just won't.
There may be special guests.
Let's just say there's special guests coming to watch.
Is Star multi-level or is it just
one floor? So the Curtain of Shame's not so bad in the Star.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So it's fine. There's highs and lows, but I often find with smaller and more intimate crowds, they bring the heat.
Yeah.
They bring the most.
Yeah.
So I like that. I'm okay. I'm genuinely weirdly at peace. Because there's a strange kind of rule amongst performers. You don't really talk about bad ticket sales, like because it might make people think you're not popular or you're a bit like weird. But I've been unpopular and weird my whole life. It's not emotions that I feel afraid of.
It's an identity.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm okay. And I really can't say that when I fucking sold the entire Palais out, 3,000 seats, cannot get a ticket. Like, I can't really sit here and say I'm unpopular. I just have to do more work in the regionals, clearly. Got to go and fucking earn my... And you know what? Queensland, it is a far-right state.
That's a beautiful attitude.
I have a good
That's the
attitude.
kind of, yeah, that's right.
I do have a good attitude about it. I really do. Weirdly. I'm okay. It's going to be a great show. Can't wait. So I'll see you this weekend, Queensland. Coming up next, Michael and I will be doing a forensic deep dive into a show that has gripped my entire life.
I knew it would.
You recommended it from your hospital bed.
Yeah.
You said, Em.
I've had intense relationships with the shows that I've watched on Endone. It really tilts the viewing experience.
Doesn't it? It really does. You know, Scotty was having a bit of a panic attack at his dad's funeral last week.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like, Scott's never, doesn't, I have to explain anxiety to Scott.
Yeah, because I can't imagine him anxious.
He was really feeling, because he had to give a speech and
Okay.
everybody was coming up to him and he hadn't had much sleep and he was really feeling.
It's not a normal gear for him to be in, that's
And he
for sure.
said to me, is this how you feel all the time? And I looked at him and I said, yes. And he has been so much nicer to me since then. He got it. He's like, I don't know how you do it.
That's like when you turned to me in the New York Sex Museum.
Tell the story.
Oh, he told us. We were in the Sex Museum and I'm just wandering around looking at all these weird dildos and everything. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Em just goes, just standing here right now, are you just completely calm and at peace? Is that, did you just feel you're not surging with anger, you're just sitting here just enjoying it, just looking at the things, just thinking, is that, you're just peaceful? Is that what's happening? And I'm like, yeah, what's happening? She goes, I'm never like that. I'm always.
So you don't have impending
base
dread
level.
all the time? You don't feel like you're about to get in big
I mean,
trouble?
I know what that is, but no, I don't live
Your
it.
baseline isn't about to get in trouble from my mum. That's my baseline.
No.
My baseline is fear and dread of being told I've done the wrong thing.
Slightly sick feeling coming up in your throat.
And sore
Yeah.
tummy all the time.
No.
She has, as she drinks her coffee on an empty stomach and a Ritalin.
Wise.
All right. DCC is up next. Fuck, I have some thoughts. If you need to subscribe because the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders has infiltrated my heart and mind. I found a podcast. I'm doing the full 360. I found a woman named Texie who was the original choreographer. Oh, I have so much to say. Okay, bye.
To enjoy today's sealed section of Emsolation, upgrade your experience and join the extra family with our premium service, Emsolation Extra. You get 2 bonus episodes direct to your favourite podcast app every week in an exclusive feed, as well as an Ask Me Anything where Em and Michael answer your questions. There's over 70 other episodes awaiting you already, plus you'll also get Instagram close friends access, ticket pre-sales, merch discounts, and heaps more. Help Em keep this independent neurodivergent business alive by supporting us for less than $2 a week on our yearly plan or less than $2.50 a week on our monthly plan. Just sign up at emsolation.supercast.com now. Emsolation is recorded at Down the Hill Studios, hosted by Em Rossiano with Michael Lucas. Executive produced by Benjamin Wasley, produced by Em Rossiano. Edited by Ezekiel Fenn and videos by James Henderson. Socials by Benjamin Wasley, Em Rossiano and Marcella Rossiano Barrow, with assistance from Jem Evans and Isabella Hines. Follow us on Instagram at Emsolation Podcast, or you'll find a link in our bio so you can sign up for our weekly newsletter, join other Emsolators at the Emsolation Group on Facebook, follow our YouTube and TikTok channels, and so much more. Help us out by sharing Emsolation with your friends, give us a 5-star rating, and make sure you're following us by hitting the follow button on your favourite podcast app. Thanks for listening and or watching this week's episode, and we can't wait to chat with you again soon.